Hey everybody, it's your bro Luke Feast, back at you with another video. Today, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna go show off my new YouTube channel. You all know and love Feast Studios with animation tutorials and old Story of Trey animations. I have created a brand new YouTube channel right here. It only has 4 subscribers. I subscribed to myself, so technically it only has 3 subscribers. It's a brand new channel. I just made it like a couple days ago on a video actually, which you can check out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recreate the series, and each episode is gonna be 20 minutes long. So this episode is 20 minutes, but before it was like 15, and I added 7 new scenes. There are a lot more scenes in this episode, and I just feel like it flows better. Like, let's look at it. I added the theme song right at the beginning also. That's a scene I added with more of the shaman. So yeah, you can check out that new episode, and it's really cool. The next episode is Butler Bot. I'm going to Premiere Pro right now. So this is how I compile all of the animation. Butler Bot, right here. It's what I'm working on. Sadly, it is not 20 minutes so far. It's only 14 minutes and 24 seconds. We need to add 6 more minutes. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do is think of some scenes that would make it add to it. Now if you don't want, how am I gonna do this without spoiling it? This, let's see, how should I add to this 14 minute and 24 second animation? We got the first theme, the theme song right here. Oh yeah, they get a homework assignment for the Fall of Rome. This scene is where Andy says, hey, I have an invention. And so they're all like, oh cool, there's an invention. And this scene is pretty much just Andy's mom being mean to him. So when I compile a scene, I animate each individual line and compile it into one scene, which takes up about a minute. So each of these are like a minute a scene. And then they introduced Butler Bot. I feel like we could add a scene in between here and here. I mean, maybe like Butler Bot's doing some chores for them. I'm also gonna wanna add some more scenes over here, but I'll deal with that later. How about we just write a little scene for this Butler Bot episode that can make it longer. Now I'm gonna get on to the writing. So I just realized I still have the screenplay saved for Butler Bot. This is what I'm talking about right here. From this scene to this scene, I feel like there could be something in between. Maybe they're getting ready for school. So I'm gonna write a scene where they're getting ready for school, but I'm just gonna do that on Google Docs, I don't care. Trey and Ethan are playing video games. And then Trey can be all like, Butler Bot, get me more coffee. And Butler Bot can say, as you wish. And then, having Butler Bot is awesome. Trey can say, yeah, now we can do our homework for us. Ron enters. Ron's the dad. And Ron can say, are you boys ready for school? And Trey can say, yeah. And Butler Bot can say, let me get your homework. Because later in the episode, Butler Bot shows up at their school and says, you forgot your homework, Master Trey. So maybe he's like, let me get your homework. And Trey can say, thanks. What the hell is that talking trash can? Okay, so I'm getting somewhere now. Maybe, yeah. But I am gonna get onto the voice acting now. So now, I'm gonna get onto the voice acting. Now, I'm gonna get onto the voice acting. Hey Butler Bot, can you get me more coffee? As you wish, Master Trey. As you wish, Master Trey. Having Butler Bot is awesome. Yeah, now we can do our Yeah, now we can do our homework for us. Are you boys ready for school? Yeah.
Let me get your homework, Master Trey. Let me get your homework, Master Trey. Okay, thanks, ButlerBot.
What the hell is that talking trash can? What the hell is that talking trash can? What the hell is that talking trash can?
It's Andy's invention. We're watching him for... Wait. It's Andy's invention. His name's ButlerBot. We're watching him for Andy.
A robot butler? Yup. Well, let's get to school, guys.
I took the audio file I used to voice act and compiled all the audio together. And then I started exporting each individual audio scene into a different file. Now, I'm going to get on to the keyframing.
Now, I'm going to get on to the animation. The keyframing. I'm on Adobe Animate right now. I'm going to go to a new file, 4K. I'm going to make it 4K. 30 frames per second. I'm going to save it before I forget. Now, I'm going to add some folders. I'm going to add one for the audio. This is the library panel where you can import all the stuff you want to use for your animation. This is obviously the canvas and that's the timeline. So we got the audio right here. We can just drag that in to the file. It only accepts AIF files. It doesn't accept MP3 files. Now I'm going to add locations, objects. I got all the files saved. I'm going to import some objects too, like the front door, the couch, this picture frame, and a lamp. Oh yeah, and the garage door and the front door. We can drag that into objects. Now for the characters, I got them saved for the frame picker tool. Characters and mouth. I got them all saved in a project. So I'm just gonna copy and paste these mouth movements and the blinking. Oh yeah, I don't have ButlerBot. Oh, I also need ButlerBot's mouth movements, which I got. So I got these characters saved. This is good. I can show you how I use the frame picker tool. I'm gonna make a new folder and add ButlerBot. Now right here, I got all the characters saved, all their drawings. I got ButlerBot right here. So I'm gonna drag in all of ButlerBot into this folder. And now I'm gonna take all of his head movements. Now I'm gonna right click all of them selected, go down to convert to symbol, and I'll go name it ButlerBot head movements. Now I'm going to right click these head movements and click edit symbols, and it opens up this blank canvas on the side. It just basically goes out forever. I'm going to add a layer, and we can add different keyframes for different frames we can easily pick. So there are 5, 10, 11 head movements. So I'm going to add 11 keyframes. So each keyframe will have a different head movement. So we can just copy and paste every single head movement onto each separate keyframe. There we go. Now we can delete this layer. And we just got these head movements on different keyframes. So now, if we go back, we have these head movements. We can click this frame picker tool, which is under Window, Frame Picker. We can open it, and instead of dragging and dropping every single frame, we can just click the frame we want for his head movement. So we can copy that. We can also add one for his torso. And I'm gonna select all that, and we can right click and convert to symbol, and I'm gonna call this body movements. Do I have torso? We only have one torso, so we only need 3 keyframes. Maybe one for like him facing this way. Now, we have to set up the scene. So I'm gonna add time to the keyframe right here. And let's just add a supporting shot. So I'm gonna drag in the background. Maybe like it starts off with Trey's house as a supporting shot. Add a keyframe, delete that. Well, I also want the front door. And now right here, I'm gonna add Trey's living room. Maybe the couch, because the couch is usually right here. And that's about it, right? Yeah. Now I'm gonna add a layer for Trey. So I got Trey's legs sitting. And I'm gonna drag that in right here. And now I'm gonna add his torso. And then I can click W and add the asset warp tool. Maybe he's like leaning his arm on the sofa. I'm gonna flip this horizontal. And then I'm gonna drag in the Trey's head movements for the frame picker tool and just drag them in here. And this is the same thing as what we did with ButlerBot. So we can just drag his head right here. And when you use the frame picker tool, you click the symbol and you go to frame picker. And we can choose what head movement we want. And maybe we want him facing forward. And so if you just do that, he's gonna be looping like that. You don't wanna do that. You want to click it and go to single frame on the settings on the top. So now it's just a still frame. Now I'm gonna add a layer, and that is pupils and mouth. And I got a frame picker tool for the mouth movements. It makes still frame, so it doesn't loop a ton. Now I'm gonna add another layer for the Ethan character. Maybe he's right here, we can drag that down. We got his torso and his arm. Now we got his head movements. And one more layer for the pupils and face. There, now we got the scene all set up. I'm gonna add some shading, so I can click the objects, or the characters, their body, and go to properties. And there's filters right here. This is just something I like to do. Gives it kind of shade, like a shading, but the lamp's right there, so the light's gonna be coming from this way. That looks pretty good. Oh yeah, I got a frame picker tool for the blinking too. That one, and that one. We can make him blink fully right here. He opens his eyes again. Pretty simple. It was just setting it up. It's like the introduction to the scene. Now, if you want to export it, you have to have a separate software that comes with the software called Media Encoder. So you go to Export Video Media. You can export it where you want and export. And then it's done, and it opens Media Encoder. And then we can insert another scene. So if we go to Insert, Scene, there we can add another part. So we can drag out this timeline, and now we can add in the audio layer which we made, the voice acting. So I'm gonna drag that into the canvas, and it goes into the timeline. The first line is,
"Hey ButlerBot, can you get me more coffee?"
So now I'm just gonna copy and paste those frames. Maybe he starts looking this way, so I'm gonna have his pupils move. And his pupils are gonna move a little bit. Oh yeah, we can use the onion layer to see what's behind it. And they can move a little more, and a little more right here. And maybe his eyebrows lift up, like his expression changes. Maybe his head turns, so we can have it like frame picker tool. And we can click that, and his head turns a little bit. And we can move his eyes and mouth with it. And we can go to 2 more frames later, and his head turns a little more. And maybe his eyebrows go down again. Pretty simple, not too hard. Just a simple body movement. Now we can add the mouth movements. For every vowel he says, I can go he, a vowel, e vowel, and that's the B vowels, and that's his mouth is closed anyways. E vowel, a vowel, and then he's about to do the L vowel, U vowel, O vowel, U vowel again. There, now we got this.
"Hey ButlerBot, can you get me more coffee?"
But obviously he's not standing there. I'm gonna click C for camera layer, and we can zoom in right here. So we get like a closer shot. So now we got this.
"Hey ButlerBot, can you get me more coffee?"
So now I'm gonna export that. I think I'm gonna end that episode there. Stay tuned for more animation tutorials, and check out my new channel with Story of Trey called Feast Tunes. You can check it out in the link below. I'm also working on a gaming channel, so stay tuned for that, and have a great day.